What's up, everyone? It's Gibberish HS here today, and today we are reacting to the Choose Wisely Hearthstone Cinematic. The Year of the Dragon has been pretty big for just Hearthstone in general. We're getting a series of expansions that are woven into the same storyline, and it's been pretty fun. This last one, Saviors of Doom, I haven't enjoyed as much as I did the Dollar Run Heist, but I have thought it was pretty fun, and I really enjoyed the campaign, so that's been pretty fun too. So over the year, if you haven't been keeping up, Hearthstone team has been releasing these videos, giving us an idea of what the next expansion might be. Obviously, it's going to be announced at Blizzcon, so while we're waiting for that to be announced, they're going to slowly release these videos. I think the last one we only got one, but it was a pretty big one. I have not watched this, so this is going to be kind of like my reaction video to it. And I'll let you guys know what I think the next expansion will be. So let's get into it. Okay. Naxxramas. Naxxramas.
Our plan is in place. I've
I think that could be
consulted
Naxxramas.
the fields.
I love the artwork.
I see change in the cards once again.
Okay.
Something stirs
Lava
here
kind of
tonight.
going on there.
Doubts flicker my candlelight. Have our chaos and conquests been in vain? A conflict is coming. To the finale we're running. But two different ends both seem true. Our fate is uncertain. When falls the final curtain, a victor shall be chosen
Okay.
by you.
By me. Ooh, choose wisely, and now I understand why. Okay. Oh, and they've already. Is this a Saviors of Old Doom? This is Saviors of Old Doom. My bad. Wow. Okay, and that was really interesting. All right, let's start that again a little bit. So this first shot here made me think of Naxxramas. Now I could be wrong, but I think right here we have Dalaran. Or Northrend. This could be Northrend. This could be Sindragosa. But we've already been to Northrend. Now, this is the curious thing about these last few expansions is that with our last expansion, Saviors of Old Doom re-entered the League of Explorers, and they just reused like the League of Explorers idea and made new cards with them, which I think was a good idea. They did the same thing with the Dalaran Heist. Rise of Shadows. In that expansion, they brought back the old villains from previous expansions. So we had Hagatha from the Witchwood, Togwago from Kobolds and Catacombs, Rafam from League of Explorers, and I think I forget her name. The priest lady or whatever her name is. So she was in Old God. So we got kind of a mix of almost all those cards together. Oh, and Doctor Boom. Don't forget Doctor Boom from Boomsday Project. So we are revisiting previous places that we've been with different similar characters. So Rise of Shadows was the villains. Saviors of Doom was the heroes. So it is going to be interesting seeing this new expansion where it's going to go. So I'm thinking two things. I think there are two major expansions that we can see from this. Let's go a little further before I reveal that though. All right, yeah, okay,
But I see change in the cards once again.
okay. New expansion.
Something stirs here tonight. Doubts flicker my
Let's do. Her name's Lazul.
candlelight. Have our chaos and conquests been in vain?
I think this is Northrend.
Conflict is coming. To the finale we're running. But two different ends both seem true.
So two different ends. That makes me think of in the campaign choice, you either get to play as the heroes or the villains, and either way you choose will let you to win. Would be my guess. So maybe in the final campaign you can play as the villains and win, or you can play as the heroes and win. up to you. That's kind of a cool thing if they do that. So this is what's getting me thinking about the new expansion here, this part here, because that looks a lot like Northrend, and the more I think about that, maybe Sindragosa. We've already visited the Frozen Throne in the Hearthstone Frozen Throne expansion with Death Knights and the Lich King, so we could be getting that again. That would be really cool for Hearthstone. Lich King was one of my favorite cards, and the Death Knights were such a cool addition to the meta. Um, I'm not really sure though what else this could be. When I first saw it, you heard me. I thought it was Naxxramas. Naxxramas was a previous expansion long ago, so I thought maybe they were going there. But I don't think so, because if we look back here, a little further, this is all very wintry. That could be Sindragosa. I don't know what this tower is. I wish I did though, but I don't know what this is. We got the lights, so like Northern Lights. I think this is Northern. I'm pretty sure this is Northern. So if I were to guess, I think we're revisiting the Frozen Throne. Why I don't know. Uh, it's really interesting. It's really interesting, guys. I think this is gonna be a good way to end it. I was really happy when I heard they were doing like a collaborative storyline. It kind of was a smart way, I think, of trying to bring people back into the game. Uh, so yeah, I really hope uh this next expansion is good. I really like Rise of Shadows. I didn't. I took Saviors of Doom was good. I thought it was it was all the same things, you know. So it's gonna be interesting. So what I do hope is because we saw quests come back in Old Doom with League of Explorers, so I think maybe we'll get some like Death Knights back in here or hero cards of some sort, which would be kind of cool. So yeah, so I really like this. I think it was a cool little teaser, and didn't reveal much. The animation looks really cool. I like that cool artsy look to it, and you got Toggle Waggle here. So yeah, I really like it. So yeah, th- I think before we end this video, I'm going to talk about the what I expect from BlizzCon in Hearthstone. So of course I'm expecting the expansion, and you know I'm kind of giving you my thoughts on what I think the expansion is going to be like. Uh, but I do think there's something that Blizzard needs to do for the game, real quick, and I hope they announce it here. If not, it's whatever. I think the game will still be good for another year or two. But they gotta do something, I feel like, about the game, because what's going on is that they're not really. I just feel like that right now Hearthstone's kind of in a passive zone, you know. So new expansion comes, you buy packs, you play new cards, you enjoy standard for 2 weeks a month trying to figure out new decks, and then you go back into passive mode, and it just repeats that. And I think they need to really try to change things up. There are two things I think would be cool, really cool with Hearthstone. So one, I think they need to introduce a new class. Whether it's one, two, or three, I think three would be crazy. So I think they'll try to start easy and just do one if they do. If they do, I don't know if it'll be this expansion, maybe the next one. But this is something I do think they need to do before 2020 ends, to really get people back in the game. So I think a new class would be really cool. If not, then I'm thinking maybe a new PvP element. So we have arena and we have standard play and wild. No one plays wild because wild is just old cards. Standard's the kind of normal that people get into, and then you have arena, which can be fun, but I don't think casual players play. I think it's mainly better players do. And then you have PVE elements, which this expansion I feel like this whole year the Dragon has done a really good job with that. But I think what they need to do is I think it'd be really cool if they did a PvP dungeon run. So you fight 8 players making your deck. I think that would be really cool. Because the dungeon run is what they've been doing since Kobolds and Catacombs, basically, for their single expansions. And It's just a little different, and so people are kind of getting tired of that. So they changed it up with the Dalaran Heist. Dalaran Heist and the Saviors of Oldum, they did a good job with that because they did change it a lot, actually. Like, it's still a dungeon run that you know, but adding things like the tavern and all that was kind of a cool way to do that. And since it's all one expansion, I'm okay with the last two basically being the same thing. So in solo modes. So I think it'd be really cool if we get a PvP version of a dungeon run where you start out with a crappy deck, and on your first run, you fight someone who's on their first one, and then you beat him. You build your deck as you do. It's a normal dungeon run deck, and you're just fighting players instead of computers. I think that would be something that'd be a lot more fun and reusable content too, and it'd be something that'd be cool to kind of get people back in the game for at least a temporary time. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the something in my eye. Those are my thoughts on the Choose Wisely Hearthstone video, and yeah, I think it's really cool. I really hope that Blizzard does release a new class or a new PvP mode. But until then, I am enjoying the Year of the Dragon. It's pretty fun. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.